All right, hey everybody, it's me again. Doing some research tonight. I wanted to really just touch an important point, and this is right in front of us the whole time. And this is one of the things I always stress as beginner traders who come into the market who want to learn futures trading. Maybe adapt some of the techniques that I trade with. And I always said if I was to teach a new trader, coming in, how would I start after all the knowledge and all the experience and all the things that I've done wrong in my trading career, trading from, way back in the 90s and what I experienced and stuff, and then kind of coming full circle and making things as super simple as I can, because I really do know the direction and the path to be successful in the markets. It's pretty clear when we look at some of the stats and we follow this. It really does inspire people if they could realize that there is a path here. There is, but it's our own controls of our emotions. Of course, the discipline and the patience that I always stress. That just kind of plays the biggest part. Overtrading could be trading one trade at a day when the day wasn't set up to, you didn't get any positive signals. Now, the positive signals that we track are really based on math, and you want to go with math. I do. I tend to side with math and science. Momentum-based trading, the stochastics, which are measuring those candles and how those candles are turning on the inside, and we see the momentum shifting, and algorithms pick up on that and stuff, and we're able to pick up on it quite fast. And when we could do that, we also have the bot to identify it with us. But what I want to start doing, and again, I'm going off track here. What my main purpose was, if someone was coming new into trading, if it was even my son I was teaching and stuff, I would only teach him what I thought was really good. I would not put anything out there and just say, hey, try this. And I would say, I know, here's my painting, here's my son. I could actually teach him do all the things that I did wrong, not to do them, and only focus on things that I am extremely comfortable and confident about, and just know that's the right path. And it comes down to, what we do right now. But also, we could even tighten that up even more. And, we are searching for some type of thrill in the market, right? And it's great to feel like a winner. And Charlie Sheen brought that out in everyone. So you want it, but you always want to. There's just two ways of getting to the path. You could trade a quick way, a very hyper scalping 1 minute time frame. We're going to call it the 1 minute time frame, or you kind of go out a little further and trade the 5 minute time frame. And I always said that when I would teach someone new, I would always say stick to the 5 minute time frame. The 5 minute time frame will prevent you from over trading. It will only give you the best setups, and it will give you plenty of time to be in them that you're not stressed out. So we always run the 5 minute rock bot on, sometimes it's hidden underneath the other charts, but I try to run the 5 minute and the 1 minute on the Rockbot channel, which you're looking at right now. It's kind of what we see. The bigger one is the 1 minute. Sometimes I have a label on them. And with that, with that 1 minute divergence, we're chopping in this downward channel and stuff. And every so often you might get a divergence. You get a profit before it rolls over and stuff. But it's like sometimes you might get severe selling. You might get a divergence. That little bounce is just not enough to hit your profit zone, and it rolls over and stops you out. That's understanding the markets that you trade in. That's overnight. I wouldn't know that type of market, so I wouldn't be able to get up and adjust my parameters, saying, oh, this is a market that's trading under the 20-period moving average. We're selling off, or, whatever. If I'm not in front of that computer, I can't adjust things. And I don't even, it's great to see the bot point out certain areas and stuff. When it comes down to it, I want to have the final choice and determine if I want to take that trade or not. And then even better than that, and what I want to show you right now, is how important that 5 minute time frame is. That 5 minute time frame has been spot on today. It was just really every dip had a nice little 5-minute. We pushed up here and then kind of pulled back another 5-minute, pushed up, moved back. Market waited a while until you got a decent pullback and just nailed it again. And you might not see these divergences on here as much as you could see the price lower and lower, but internally, and how the the formula is set up, it's pretty much price versus the stochastics at those points. So at any point here when we have a lower low, we could actually see the stochastics move higher. It would trigger for a divergence. But on the 5-minute chart, like I said, is the most important thing that I feel is going to be on your side. So I did a little bit more testing tonight, and I went through these, and I was looking at the average move coming off of a divergence, and then also back testing, looking at the visual divergences. The visual divergences are divergences that I consider you could easily see the stage 1 and stage 2 divergence there because of the degree, that angle of that line there, and I'll show you that right now. So we're looking at the 5-minute time frame, and you can see that if I just forget about let's turn the bot off here, so we don't have the and we're going to go through these. We'll do a couple different things here. We're going to remove that, apply that, and that should remove the underlying trades. Now, what I wanted to show you how important this is to go into tomorrow or whatever day. If you just pay attention to the 5-minute time frame, and you're only looking for one setup, on what happened to my charts here? My charts actually, hold on here. Did I open up the wrong chart? All right, so here, now I'm going to put it on the, I've fixed the chart. I want to make sure all 4 stochastics were there, because that's the important part here. We're going to go to the 5-minute time frame, and we're going to go back as far as we can on this chart, because this is the test we're going to do. We're going to give this a real good once over. And what we're going to be looking for is a pure visual divergence, where we see a clear low, a pop, or either a retest, a double bottom, which that would be, and a higher stochastic, a steep stochastic. So that would be something that would probably qualify. I don't know if we'd see it though. Be realistic, and that was at night too. So, but I want to mark them all off. So I want to mark each, and the divergence has to be between again, stage 1 a low, stage 2 a lower low, and a higher low on a stochastic. Here would be one right here. So let's mark them and just see what the results were in let me bring up a line here. Hold on. Let me F2 so I could use that. So right here there was a little divergence. That we can see that candle and that high angle divergence right there. What the heck? What's that up there? Sorry for the dead air here. I'm just trying to fix my chart here. Again, I'm not at my home office, but this is important stuff right here we're going to go over. That should be it. All right, so here's that divergence. So very clean divergence, nice candle. Starts moving up. Now, the important thing to remember now is that we're not dealing with 1-minute candles. We're dealing with 5-minute candles. So say you get the divergence, you get the confirmation, you probably get it maybe around here, 44.18 to 44.20. Yeah, even 44.20 we'll call it. That next candle basically goes up to, what do we got? 20, and the high here is 24. So, all right, maybe 4 points. That's not a lot. That's not a lot out of that divergence, but it's also 3 o'clock in the morning. And you have to take that off because of the rotation. See, that's going to keep you safe. That rotation just tells you, all right, that's as far as we're going to go. We'll probably take that off. Because the market's going to go into these. It's very rare you're going to get just a rocket ship. You know, most of the time it's going to be very choppy. So again, we're looking for that divergence again, and I don't know if we even count this one or not. If you think we could count this one or not. You see a little higher low here. Not much, but a little. And the lower low is probably by a tick if it's a double bottom right there. Everything else, it wasn't a quad rotation, but again, we're looking at a 5-minute time frame. We're not worried about a quad rotation. All we're worried about is visual divergences. I'm not going to qualify that. I think that would have been too hard to recognize. Here we have a easy to recognize divergence here. All right, so let's take a look at this one. All right, actually, it's that whole thing right here. It's actually right there. And it's almost a double, this is almost a running divergence, but this was the nice divergence right here. This low, this pop back up. We started to turn back up. We held that trend line and then just took off. The divergence did play out. And again, how we measure that is once you identify the divergence, take the trade, you put your stop underneath the that candle low. And that kind of just automatic stop there in case things go wrong. But as right now, none of these have gone underneath these candlestick lows. And that's another thing that I want you to concentrate on during this review over the last couple days of this 5-minute time frame. So again, that would be your stop. This would be your stop. And you can see big moves come after these. And then, it takes a while for these things to set up. We have nothing here. I can't qualify that, even though it's moving up. But we're just searching for one type of animal here. And here was a double bottom divergence right here. So you have a double bottom. And you have a higher stochastic rotation there, right? So pretty easy to see. Good one. And it had a nice move. Now, again, realistic entry. Maybe you get in 39 to 40. That went up to 48. Easy 5-6 point mover in the morning here off of that 5 to 6 points. But the important thing again is you get that divergence. You put the stop underneath there. You have upside. I haven't seen anything that is broken down yet underneath the break even stop. I mean, at this point you get overbought on that 5-minute. And you should be just taking it off. Why not? This is your machine now. This is your business plan. This is what you sell. Divergences. All right? You got to think of it that way. Keep you organized. Now remember this inverted head and shoulders pattern, and the market took off here. And what we're waiting for is a certain setup, right? So sometimes, like the other day, we had a huge spike in the market, and it was just very hard to either chase it or find a pullback in it. It was very strong and eventually started coming back down. But I'm just proving a point on the 5-minute time frame. We're looking for that divergence. And again, it should be pretty easy to spot. You definitely want to really just see this type of motion. Just a higher low coming off of that bounce and just making sure that the price, oh God, what did I just do there? Cancel that. Sorry. I'm killing myself here. There we are. So that there, and that was actually that was pretty good. I mean, that was a higher low. You won't really want to get that second higher low over the 20 line. And you can't argue that having that 5-minute or actually having the 60-10 on the 5-minute probably goes out to the the 15-minute, 30-minute time frame. It probably lines up with. So that's a positive either way. But the real positive is on the 5-minute time frame, every divergence is going to give you a plenty of opportunities for the upside. Now this was huge. That was huge. But again, if you got up there and you started getting overbought and you took profits, all right, you took profits. You want to have that percentage. And when we talk about percentage, like every time this works out, it should work out, right? So we want to feel comfortable the next time you see it, just to go in all in. I'll take 4 or 5 points if if I have the confidence to trade that. That was probably not a good divergence. I would not kind of lie about that and say, I'm not going to call that a divergence, even though it had a nice move off of that. Let's be realistic with this. There was a divergence here. Now, this is kind of a fast, sneaky, I don't know what you call that. That candle came down. You can see the divergence here was nice. It is what it is, right? I'll take it. There was even kind of a double bottom divergence over here, right here. And that kind of motion in the ocean right there. So you had that little divergence there, nice move up until overbought. We had a nice divergence there, and a big move up. Then we had a sell divergence up here with that big candle and a lower high, but not under the 80. Market comes back down, almost get into a quad rotation there, but it bounced. But we're not hunting for anything other than I just wanted to show you. We went back as far as I could go back, a few days here, and I think that's it right there. I'm coming to the end of the day here. This is where we are right now. So you can see divergence. Let's go back on these. A divergence here. Make sure this is on. Beautiful move. Even a small divergence here. Decent move. And even though this is far and few between some of these, I think it's super important to have them. So I am going to add these to the super signal. The 5-minute divergence is going to be added to a super signal, but the divergence has to be a very standard higher stochastic bounce above the 20 line. It's not going to be any borderline. I want to see actually the 9.3 and the 14.3, not necessarily always the 14.3, but I like to see them both lined up. If we got the 44 down in this time frame, I don't know what would happen. But the 5-minute divergence has been just perfect. It's been perfect, and I think it's worth watching. Let's just take a fast look at the backtesting of the 5-minute versus the. Let me see if I can get I was running some back tests before. Let me see if I can show you what I was doing. Now this is on the 1-minute time frame, and this was today. I think this was today's action, and I had this bot turned on, and it didn't give us, what I'm looking at when we look at the results here, because every trade is different, and this is set up just to take profits and take a very fast trailing, trailing stop starts. And it doesn't give it much room. And this market that goes 10, 20 points, this usually has a trailing stop of a point. So it doesn't usually go far. If we adjust these, which I'm going to show you right now, you start to get bigger results. But this is the 1 minute. This is set on the 3, 2. Oh, I have it set on 17 because I had it on the 5. But let's move that to like just 8. And then I have the stop loss at 7, a signal bar loss. Oh, keep it on the signal bar loss. And then I have, we'll start with 3. We'll start the trailing stops at 3, and see how that sets up. No, that's 1. All right, let me see how this looks. Just gonna run it. All right. 197. So what I'm looking at here is the profitable trade, 74%, and that's good. That's good for that's what I always want my divergences to be, and that's pretty good. I was going to compare the 5-minute and the 1 minute, and show you the. I'm going to show you how well the 5-minute worked, and now I have to beat 74%, which is going to be really good. I haven't checked this yet. All right, 5-minute, you got to do your stuff. All right, so the 5 minute though, if we turn this on the 5 minute and adjust my parameters a bit, I was saying if we see something, all right, so I would probably look for 8 or 2 points, and then maybe I think that would have that 16 or 17. Take 2 off. I guess we should take 2 off here. I don't know how that had that. Stop loss 7 or signal bar loss. And what should this be? Well, we'll make this trailing stop 8. So usually on the 5 minute we have bigger moves. All right, and 5 minute, and let's just run this. I don't know how good this is going to do. All right, 82%. So it is performing better, and I could probably tweak this a little too. Knowing how the markets are working these days, you should be able to say, "Oh, we're getting a little bit more room to run, or maybe take profits faster on your first profit." You know, some ways you could tweak it a bit, and then go to 1 here. Let's see what this does to it. 55, 82, same thing. It's the percentage here. 14 trades, 3 losing trades. Now, what I would like to do is sometimes just go to those losing trades and see what they look like. So let's see if we could find them. There's only 3 of them. This looks like one right here. It was at the end of the day, so we don't count that. Or is it? Or maybe that's right now. Is that just right now? Yeah. Wow. Didn't know it was taken right to the real time here. Maybe that was one of them. It just did. That was probably one of them that just happened. 5 minute divergence long. Profit, profit, profit. Divergence long. Profit, profit, profit. Profit. Targets, no. I don't see where they. This is one that seemed to got stopped out, but that just started. I don't even see why that got stopped out. Maybe that candle right there was the divergence candle, and it probably came down and took it out by a tick. I can't really see, but that's what it looks like. Looks like it came down, took it out by a tick, because it had what we call a signal bar low. So that's a signal bar. The stop goes right under that, and that kind of keeps it in a safety, you know. But other than that, that's the only one I saw that didn't really perform. This looks like it hit its first target. It's all these hit its targets, second target, first target, trailing stops, trailing stop, diverged along. Maybe this was a trailing stop came into effect. It wasn't a hard stop. I must be missing one somewhere. Except the last one right there. But you can see the big difference. I mean, there's a big difference in this performance of the 5 minute time frame versus the 1 minute, and it's always been that way. It's always been that way. I'll go back the last couple of days. I don't know what the parameters would be. Still holding 74%, which is good. 23 winning trades, 8 losing trades. So my point is, the 5 minute time frame is going to give us good divergences. It's typically going to work out in your favor. With a little bit more control over these, and not let the bot just do that, you know, because we could prevent or lock in profits easier instead of getting a trail stop. We know that if we get a divergence, most likely we're going to get a rotation, and if we take it off the rotation right there, 9 times out of 10 you did the right thing. If you have the bigger time frame down here, the 60-10 in your favor, you should hold on to some of it. You know, that's going to be something that you just have to manage that. I don't think there's a right, because honestly sometimes I think these candles that whip down here were stop grabbers. You know, these are algorithms that know that if someone got a good trade and people are following this up, and all of a sudden it pops and all the trailing stops come in because of the pop, and then they come out and they take out all the stops, and then it moves right back up. Sometimes it's news also, and you have to watch those. But everything I see here on the 5-minute time frame, and if we actually have a visual one and a steeper one, you have to go all in on your prop accounts. That is the one that you're going to go all in. So I'm going to add that to the, I'm adding that to the super signal. So if you get the super signal, it's going to be, if I say a 5-minute divergence super signal, that's what it is. It's a higher stochastic. It's a one that really is a pure divergence. I'm probably not going to do any relative divergences on the 5-minute. I want something that's a good angle, maybe a 10 degree angle, up there around 10. Anything above that would be great. And that's usually the angle from the low to the higher low on the stochastic rotation. That's making that higher high. The higher that angle, the better the move. So we just have to wait for these. That's the key. And I think if you just take the 5-minute time frame, if you're not doing well in the 1-minute time frame, maybe I can understand that. It gets choppy. But if you just take this signal on the 5-minute time frame, I don't think there's any way you're going to lose. As long as you put your stop in, 9 times out of 10, or 8 out of 10, they're going to work. 8 times out of 10, they're going to work. If you're on top of them, we have a good divergence signal. I want to get this signal going out to us. It's going to be great. And this is going to be easy for me to set up. So I could get this automated for us to have a 5-minute divergence signal sent out on the super signal. And a good one too. I'm just going to adjust some of the settings and make it a super signal thing on a divergent super signal on a 5-minute time frame. And that means we're going to just raise that up a little. We do have that 5-minute divergence code. You have that script, and all you have to do is run it on the 5-minute time frame. You run it on the 5-minute time frame. You go to your scripts. You go to the Thunderbird 23 buy. It's under mine's under the 5-minute buy because I didn't download the latest folder and upgrade it. But that's the same script. I just have a different name. And I want to enable it. You should see these divergences come in right where we did, and maybe even more. There was more divergences actually coming in. Now I have the parameters set probably for a 1-minute time frame here. Yeah, see, so it's going to get all stopped out here. If you're trading the 5-minute time frame, you're not going to get you don't want you don't want to run that on like the 1-minute parameters. All right, so I think tomorrow we're going to really focus on this. We're going to focus on the visual ones, even though, here's the Rockbot. I just pointed out some of these. This is the one we pointed out was a good one. The Rockbot pointed it out. Here we had one. The Rockbot pointed it out, took profits up there. Where else did we see one? The Rockbot's seen one here. It's seen one here. Seen one here. But I'm looking for and there's ours right here. This is the one I like a lot. The Rockbot caught that one too, but also caught one back here, which are that was one. I didn't even see that was a mid-pattern divergence here. I have to see what that candle came down to. That's an interesting one right there. With this candle and right over here to this candle and this higher low, but mid above that 20 line. It's very bullish. It's a very bullish setup. At this low, and there's a little low right there, and this higher low right there. Divergence saw it. I didn't see it on my review until now. Again, there's probably a little divergence here. We didn't count it because they're both under 20. And the same thing here. Once you start getting under 20 and not getting that full rotation, and this gets stuck for more than three periods, you got to step out of the market. You got to step out and wait for full rotation on the 9-3 to kind of get you back into sync. Because what will happen is this will stay embedded. Everything will stay embedded. You might get into the, once you get that first bounce, then it's kind of an all clear. Then maybe we come back down, but we start to pattern out a little bit more. So it kind of gets rid of that real scary sell-off. That's a hard one to kind of gauge too. You know, that bounce is really a bear market bounce or a bear flag bounce. And we rolled right over again on it. But the divergence, that's what we're here for. I don't care about this. This was nothing. That's why I didn't mark it down. So I wouldn't worry about what the bot's telling me. I'm worried about what I'm going to bring you guys. The higher level stochastic rotation. The perfect setup. Those are the setups that are going to give you 10 points. So that's the 5-minute thing. If I was teaching someone new, I would say stick to the 5-minute time frame. It will develop discipline and patience. The 1-minute time frame is like playing, going into the batting cage and just put it on super fastball right away. You want the slow ball. You want the slow ball. This 5-minute is much slower, and it takes time, and you could see it, and it's just, it's obvious that the bigger trends are underway, and you could actually hold this longer instead of getting, neurotic with watching the 1-minute time frame, which we like to do because we want to make as much money as we can. I get it. And the damn show would be pretty boring if it wasn't, if we were just doing that. So, the 5-minute is the key, people. Watch for the new alerts coming out. Only members are going to get them. All right? I'll see you guys in the market tomorrow. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, let me know. If you have any comments, questions, let me know. Good night.